Hello and welcome everybody to 1999. In 1999, Jose Orzabal won the Masters. Payne Stewart won the US Open. Thoughts go out to Payne Stewart still after all these years. A huge influence in my life. Just the way he lived life in the public eye. Taylormade releases this in 1999. I believe this was in the fall because I know in 2000 this was still on sale and being advertised as the Taylormade Supersteel Bird, and it's not as loud as some other Taylormade clubs, which is interesting and an interesting direction for Taylormade. Let's get this on the review table. We actually have something special, a little change of pace. Let's see if you like it on the review table right now. Before we dive into the close-up of the Taylormade, I actually want to go down memory lane here. This is a July 2000 Golfsmith store catalog. So this is their Pro Line clubs here, okay? So let's just step through this real quick. Some of the, advertising here. Tri-Metal, you guys remember that? We started out with Lynx. Do you guys remember Lynx? Parallax Tour, Predator, some very excellent irons. Hawkeye from Callaway. Are you kidding me? This club was released in 1999, the fall, and so obviously the next summer they're still going to be selling it. So anyway, they have these lovely steelhead clubs, the Hawkeyes, and then we get to the Taylormade page. Look how bright these Fire Soul irons are with that copper right here. Very loud. Supersteel, the driver is pretty loud, but we have these more muted irons right here. Do you remember the Nubbins putter? These are up for review. I don't know when I'll get around to it. Maybe next year. I love the Nubbins putters. Does this bring back memories to anybody of the year 2000? Titleist was coming out. Like, there's the 990. Look at all these putters right here. Drivers, more Ping putters here. Ping I3 woods and irons. Those are great. I've reviewed those. And then look at Adams, Pure Spin, just everything. They're so cool. Just flying through this. Snake Eyes was, Cleveland. And look at these Hogans. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. So Hogan always made some of the most lovely stuff. Look, they're still selling the oversized 845S. Just a great club that you could still use today and just fit right in. Here's the Odyssey collection. Oh my goodness. Scotty Cameron. Does anybody remember Scotty Cameron? You had to oil your putter. Look at this. This is how they were advertised. You could just go buy one right there. How much were they then? Does it say? Call for price. Typical. Trillium. 2 putter. Ping putters. Oh my goodness. Look, it's so cool. All right. Well, we're going to probably stop there. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So we'll stop there. And let's have a closer look at this iron. So obviously it says Taylormade down here by the sole on the aft portion. Just a little copper right there with the Taylormade logo right there. Then it says Supersteel with a little copper line and burner in the cavity. That should show up pretty well, I think. And then on the sole, I'll spin it around so you can see, there is an iron number and a pretty straightforward looking steel iron. One of the interesting things, as you can see, there are grooves here on the toe, there are grooves here in the hip box, and there are grooves way over here in the hosel shank area. Don't hit a golf ball here. It won't hit those, it won't even touch those grooves, it'll just go shooting off that way. It'll just hit the hosel. And there'll be a mark there, trust me, I know, because I've hosel shanked golf balls before. A little bit of offset here, not too terrible. We move up the hosel to this black and copper ferrule, and then we move to the stepless steel shaft. That's right, stepless. I put the sticker on here just for the release date. Obviously still available all the way through the year 2000, as we saw. Here's a rifle shaft branded as Supersteel, as Taylormade knows how to brand things. And then there is the stock Taylormade branded velvet style grip. Absolutely lovely. So it's time we get this on the range and see how super it really is.
Supersteel burner in the house. Taylormade Supersteel. This is a fun era for me for Taylormade, because what we have here is Taylormade, who, they kind of have some very loud clubs, but they made a more reserved club. Like, I wouldn't describe their Supersteel driver as being really subtle. It still had that bright copper top to it, but these irons, though, I think really set the stage for what Taylormade became in the 2000s. And in addition to that, they had a good reputation for making really quality irons. My buddy, who I talk about, high school, college era, his family, his father, loved Taylormade irons. And so he always told me, my friend and his dad always told me, you want Taylormade irons and you want Callaway woods. So that stuck with me. I understand that's just their opinion, okay? Friend's opinion, internet opinion, which one would you rather have? Friend all day, every day. So, yeah. Taylormade irons. Now, looking down at this, there are some obvious things. The first thing that I notice are the grooves that I showed you on the toe and on the heel, outside of those framing lines of the normal strike box, which is interesting. And it's just like, they're there, I notice them, okay? The offset is not offensive. It's very normal for, an iron like this. The little copper ring isn't offensive. Everything else about it just seems just fine, okay? So it looks like an iron and a 6-iron, and there you have it. So let's see what comes out of this on this beautiful Wisconsin day. Low 70s, no complaints here. A little dry, that's my normal shape. Easily flew that 150. I usually like those starting a little bit left and moving right. That one I'll point my feet a little bit this way, see what comes out. Again, let's give it another little shot here. And that one didn't come back. That one went pretty straight. Again, flew that 150. Data at the end, if you want to see some actual data. I'm going to try to, I didn't even hit a good one yet, but I'm going to try to fade one just ever so slightly. I can tell you right now, you can fade shots with this. The question right now that we're exploring is, can I fade a shot with these? Just looking for a very mild fade. And that just kind of went dead straight. Which when you have a draw pattern like I do, I'll accept that as making a difference. So first impressions are, it's not too loud. It feels really solid. You can see my strike pattern right here. It looks like the center of gravity is really good. So any complaints? No. Does it stand out to me? Does it jump out as something that I would recommend or that I really could fall in love with? That's a good question. And that's the question I want to ask you. Because this, I feel like, really set the stage with this design, this cavity style, for like the RAC OS, the RAC clubs, for a lot of the Taylormade clubs that followed. So, I don't know if I want to say Genesis, but this design and moving towards that more subtle look, I can see this really influencing Taylormade. Not that the RAC were the most subtle irons on the planet, but you get my point. It's like moving away from that copper everywhere. So to me, possibly a very influential club and a really solid iron. Like when it comes to any iron, this seems very adequate. You'd have to obviously gap and modern irons with their hot faces and their cranked lofts and their longer shafts might be a little bit longer, but just want a solid iron. This might be a viable option. Let me know your thoughts, memories in the comments below. Do you still game these? Have you bought these new and do you still game them? And tell me what you think of my friend's opinion in the late 90s that you should buy Taylormade irons and Callaway woods.
So hitting this club, it does feel, I'm just gonna say it, it feels an awful lot like the Ping i2, okay? It doesn't stand out as like a revelation. But again, how much really are golf irons gonna progress? You can, at this stage, Taylormade had already tried the hollow body foam injected irons, which are popular again today, but they did that back before. So this is just a good iron. When I hit it, I'm just like, I don't think about it. I'm just looking down at it. I'm just like, this is an iron. I can hit this. I know what it's going to do. And I know what I put into it. It's what's going to come out of it, which is what you want an iron to do. So hitting this, I feel very confident. I feel at home. Beautiful. I think this is also a reflection of the direction that golf goes. So golf has these trends, these fads. Let's be really bright and loud, and then we're going to tone it back. Let's be a little bit more classy, ladies and gentlemen. And then it goes back to, let's be children again. And now the market's just kind of like everywhere. You want some sophisticated, in the making of this video in 2025, you want some sophisticated, really simple, shiny, bling, look at me, beautiful blades. You can get those. Thank you, Mizuno. You want some the biggest, loudest, giant clubs ever made, you can get those as well. You want offset or no offset? You want classic lofts or not classic lofts? I think today we have a great selection of clubs. But this was the beginning of that for Taylormade. It's like you can get the really loud copper or you can get a more sophisticated look. I'm not saying that this is the most sophisticated look, but it is more, in my opinion, less blingy, less shouty, less look at me. And aesthetics do play a part in golf. There's several aspects of that. Some of it is just fitting in. Some of it's just being macho, which that's part of the game. It's just funny. And then when it comes to like the functionality of it, functions beautifully, no complaints. I wouldn't be surprised. These videos, I'm trying to make the largest collection of video reference material of clubs on the planet. Okay, that's what this channel is kind of geared at. So when people come and watch this, I suspect there are going to be people who roll into this video who have played this since new. In 2000, in 1999 or 2000, I just bought this club and I've played it ever since. That wouldn't surprise me at all because this is a very reliable, consistent, well thought, well put together club that just sits beautifully in the back. So to me, this is absolutely something I would game. Like today, if somebody said, here's your set of irons, play this, rock on. I could totally play these. So irons, Taylormade, Supersteel burner, just to me, a good direction for Taylormade to go. And then they moved into some much more, I don't know if I want to call the RAC refined, like I was talking about in the range, but they did move into some other more less copper tone, fake and bake tan designs. And that's good. That's a good direction in my opinion. So thank you, Taylormade, for this gem of a club. I really like it. Yes, I would play it. If I were new to golf and so if somebody was new to golf and said, should I get a set of these for $30 from a friend? Yes, these will do the trick. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And let us know definitely if you've played these for a long period of time. As usual, huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. I can't thank my patrons enough. It's just general support. I'll put a link in the description below if you too want to be a patron. Another way you can support the channel is by visiting my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. Stay tuned. We have a little bit of data here at the end. I am the Vintage Golfer.